Welcome to the midweek edition of the Entertainment Roundup. I am Jay77. It has been a slow week in most of the entertainment, with the exception of YouTubers making videos on movies that they either like, hate, despise, or just want to see fail. Sometimes I think a lot of these guys who make these videos just want to see the product fail for whether political reason or just the simple fact that it's tired of the product. Personally, if I'm tired of the product, I don't want to watch the film, I just won't see the film. I will not waste my time with bitching and moaning about something that is going to come out. And like many things come out, people will either choose to see it or not see it. But lately, we have a campaign to basically ruin this franchise, saying the franchise is dead in the water, the franchise is gone. If that was the case, which I don't think it is, we would not be seeing what we're seeing right now with the hype that has been getting more and more. People wouldn't even talk about what the Rise of Skywalker actually mean. A title which, not the greatest title in the world, but not the worst title in the world. And it leaves the question, considering that I've already said that the fact that Luke Skywalker is no more, he was killed off in the Last Jedi, what does this really mean? There were tons of videos suggesting that Rey is indeed a Skywalker. I find that very hard to believe, and personally, in my own honest opinion, I don't want her to be a Skywalker. Two, with the Last Jedi, even hints of The Force Awakens, there was no indication that this character is linked to the Skywalker or the Solos in any shape or form. They are even hinting that she may be a Palpatine, which I also will find very hard to believe, considering the year and the gap and how old Rey is supposed to be. Rey is pretty much almost the same age as what Leia was, and Leia was almost 17, 18 years old. This film takes place in 30 years after the event of the Empire's, not the Empire Strikes Back, the Return of the Jedi. I find this very hard to believe. He even talks about Obi-Wan Kenobi. I find that even hard to believe. I think Rey is just Rey with parents that will either be explained more into this movie or won't. And if it's not being explained, it will not bother me one bit. A little mystery is not a bad thing. As for the reports that this may be Ripley's last film, it would not be surprising. I don't know if that's the case or not. I know she was signed for this film. Any other future projects is up in the air. I would be sad if she's not going to return. I like to see how far this character will go. You already know they're going to make 3 other films 5 years down the road. That has been the new plan now. They already have other materials down, so I don't see her just disappearing into the night unless they want to go in a different direction, which I think they will. I think they're going to completely is going to be done with the Skywalker saga and start with something new, which I am hoping they will do. I am hoping we get something else other than the Skywalker clan. I want new stories. I have no problem with the Mediterranean. I know people are going to correct me on that. I have no problem even with the Resistance animated series, even though I think it's pointless. But I want to see something new. It's a galaxy far, far away, and yet we seem to be so small in a space that it consists of only a few characters. There has to be something else going on, another conflict somewhere that even the Skywalker family don't know about. There got to be other Force wielders that's not Jedis that are out there doing good or evil. And there got to be other stories that don't even involve the Jedis, period. Can we please get that? More so than anything else. But before we get to that, before we get to other properties of Star Wars, we have a story to end, and that is the Rise of Skywalker. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing this. I've seen the posters in the theater. I am loving that poster. At the same time, I am concerned. But not for the reason that a lot of people are going out there. Now, my first thing I want to say right now, and I'm talking right here to you guys, is I'm getting sick and tired of these leaks. These so-called, this is how the ending is, everything else. I've said it before. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not going to click it on because, number one, it will ruin the feel for me. I get pissed off when I see trailers do it. A sense of mystery is good. Leave me into the sense of unknowingness. Go in the movie theater and actually enjoy the film. I hate when there's 5, 6, 7 trailers of a film giving us more reveal information. It doesn't help the film. Terminator has been notorious for doing that. And worse, they give away the freaking main plot of the film. And then they wonder why people don't want to have any interest in it. The Star Wars has been getting there all the time, and many people are taking it almost as face value. I say, listen, I don't know. I don't know if that situation is going to happen. I don't know if this is going to go down. All I know is I want to see the film spoiler free. There's too many of these videos being popped out there, and a lot of it just to discredit the film before it's even been released. Just to be spiteful sometimes, and I kind of find it kind of sad. You don't want to watch the film, don't watch the film, but don't spoil it for everybody else. There are some people who want to enjoy this franchise. There are people out there, surprisingly not, who like the prequels. I myself didn't think the prequel was all that bad. It wasn't great, but it was not bad. There was some good benefit that the prequel have given to the Star Wars mythos. If it didn't, why would you ask for Ewan McGregor to play Obi-Wan again? Again, there must be some good to that. I am not going to sit there and say that I didn't like The Force Awakens, because that'd be a lie. I love The Force Awakens. And I felt that with all the flaws that The Last Jedi has, I at least understood where they was coming from, and I actually enjoyed it for what it was worth. It wasn't the worst Star Wars film, but it definitely was the one that did not have a focus of where it wanted to go. And that was a mistake on Disney's part. As much as anybody want to get on Rian Johnson, Disney should have had a blueprint for Rian Johnson to follow. And if he couldn't follow that blueprint, he shouldn't have been the director. I don't think anybody would have mind if they said the reason why we had let go of Rian Johnson, the same way they let go of the other director who was originally supposed to be directing the Rise of Skywalker, is that the direction that we want didn't match well with his vision or what he wanted to do. I think the biggest mistake that he did was he tried to start from scratch from a sequel where the foundation was always set by another director in the original first movie. But there was no secret he wanted to do a trilogy of his own, and that was not the way to go about it, and that's why people are pretty much sore at him right now. The person that blamed Johnson for that is, Rian Johnson for that, is a bit of a, come on guys, we're overdoing it. Rian Johnson did not have a blueprint to work on. And because he didn't have a blueprint to work on, he was free to do what he felt was right by the movie. Do I agree with his decision? No. Do I think he came out with a bad movie though? No. But I will admit, and I will say that it didn't align well with what the first film did. And you only hope that The Rise of Skywalker actually fixed some of the mistakes that it had. I think Snoke had a plan for all 3 films. It didn't work out. He killed him off in the end. Big mistake. So Skywalker, while I didn't mind the idea that he wasn't the hero that I envisioned, still was not well treated in that film. So now we got this film, and from what I've seen in the trailers, I'm looking forward to seeing it. It got me wondering, how are they going to end this series? And what new surprises I am going to get from this movie. There's so much at stake here. But man, oh man, am I getting tired of these so-called spoiler channels that they're just throwing stuff out there that may or may not be true. And even if it's not true, why try to spoil the film when it hasn't been released out? It's still 2 or 3 months. Can we relax before the film comes out? But ironically here, this is not the reason why I'm actually making this video. It's not the reason why I'm bringing this topic up. People are panicking over something that has been a tradition, been a normal practice in Hollywood for years. And the only reason why we're hearing it more now is because we have social media networks that really throws the information out there more so than what we ever had before. And that is, it's been announced that Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is going through reshoots. I have not gone too deep as to why. Many people have speculated that the reason why it's going through a lot of reshoots is because, number one, of the fact is that many people have spoiled a lot of the important elements of the film, and they felt they need to reshot it. A lot of the reason is that it didn't test well, and so they're going for reshoots. And automatically, I see a lot of people already saying or putting the red flag. Oh, this is not good. This is not what was supposed to be done. This is not a great move. The film is doomed. This is why the film is going to fail. Calm down. Reshoots is a normal practice in Hollywood, and it happened a lot longer than you think. This is not something new. You'll be surprised how many times they have reshot an ending scene because it wasn't tested well by test audiences, or that it didn't seem to match up well. There are some directors who purposely shoot multiple endings or multiple scenes just to get the right feel of what they want to do. Prime example is Rocky Balboa. Sylvester Stallone has had so many reshoots of certain scenes, you'd be surprised. You can actually make a whole different version of the film just on the reshoots that he have done. There was a scene at the bar. He had one shoot where he went to the bar, was beautiful, looked like one of those middle-class bars, members only bars, and then he did another shot where it is like a bar that me, you, or any other class Joe will go to. Dark, dingy, little looking, typical bar. He did that on purpose to see which one has a more better realistic feel. Of course, he went with the, the more, this is like for the people look than anything else. And it worked out. Makes sense to him being in there. He's not living in the high luxury of Beverly Hills. He lives in Philadelphia, pretty much a property style of Philly. It makes sense. Then he made two different endings of the end of the boxing with Nixon. He had one where he, pretty much lost the fight in a split decision. But then he had another ending where he won. And he went with the ending that he lost the fight. Very good ending, by the way, but he went with that ending. Both endings was fine, but he felt that this makes more better sense that he lose that fight than him winning. The difference between the endings are night and day. These were shots that he done on purpose. There were certain shots that didn't work out in certain movies where they do a test screen. The audience didn't like what they saw. So they went back and reshot the film, and they got a much better reception to it. And Star Wars, whether you know it or not, are not immune to that. They have gotten through reshots constantly throughout the years. From the original series to the prequels to now. So this is nothing new. Like I said, I don't know what the reshots, I don't know what was the issue. Maybe it was the effect, maybe it wasn't the ending they was hoping for, so they want to reshoot it, give it a little different ending. But it's not major. It's not like, again, it's not like New Mutants where they reshot the damn thing where the point we had to delay it not just 1 but 2 years. Didn't help that Walt Disney was coming along and they had to pretty much trim the film down to have a one and done film because they actually did have plans for a trilogy with the New Mutants. Same thing with Dark Phoenix. But they had to do reshoots to at least try and match what they were trying to do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Now, if Star Wars would say, we're delaying this film 1 year, then I start being concerned. Because that means there's more than this the reshoots that concerns them. But so far, the date hasn't changed. From what I understand, they're going to do the reshoot. How long it's take? It probably take 1 day or probably 2 days. Add it into the final product, and you pretty much won't notice the difference. The problem is, as long as the film is good and it's on quality standard, I don't care. You want to do reshoots? Fine. It's not the first time. Not going to be the last. And people were panicking. Relax. You know it's a problem when the film gets delayed a year. You know it's a huge problem if the film doesn't get a release date and they're just doing the whole thing over again, which can happen. Then you gotta be concerned, not just for the audiences, but for the studio in general. If they have to delay the film because of reshots, and the perfect prime example of it is Back to the Future. I think everybody knows the story about that by now. That film was almost done. Think about that for 1 minute. That film was almost done, and because they fired Stokes, they actually had to go almost start over from scratch with Michael J. Fox. That film could have bombed because of those reshoots. Reshoots are not cheap. That type of reshoot, you're going to be concerned of. That type of reshoot, it can spell death for a film. Thankfully, it was such a good film. Word of mouth, as well as good high praises with the critics, saved that film from utter disaster. That film was a mega hit that year. I'm not saying that this is going to happen with Star Wars. For all I know, it could be a bomb for all I know. What I'm trying to say is reshoots is nothing new to Hollywood. Reshoots of films happens pretty much all the time. It's a normal thing. So normal that, again, directors and producers purposely does shot of different scenes to see which one is done. Keep in mind, filmmaking is about the film being edited to another film. And the final picture when everything gets pieced together. They don't do the beginning scene first. They probably do the beginning scene dead last. They probably do the ending first before doing anything else. So before anybody gets upset, before anybody get thinking of negative things, know that this is nothing new in Hollywood. This is just part of the process. And I kind of find it funny that a lot of people are using this as a weapon to further say how bad Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is going to be. I do not know how good this film is going to be. I don't know how bad it's going to be until I see the film. I am not going to judge it based on people's feeling because they don't like Kathleen Kennedy and they're mad because she wasn't fired, which I'm glad Disney didn't do that because I think that would have been hypocritical of them. Kathleen Kennedy been around a lot longer than just Star Wars, and she had a lot of credibility and a lot of success to back up her moves. But there are people out there who are dead set or trying to pull a movement of fire Kathleen Kennedy. She needs to go. She must go. And because Kathleen Kennedy not only is not fired, but got an extension contract, there are people who are very bitter about that. Now, to be fair, Kathleen didn't, make any friends with her political agenda being thrown out there with the Star Wars lore. I will say that. But in the past year and a half now, she have kept very quiet, and it's done for a reason. And she's just been very much focusing on the production. And I felt as long as she does that, I think the film is not in danger. I think she realized that you can't put politics in everything. It doesn't work. And I think that for the most part, as long as she does what she has been paid to do, I have no problem with her being the producer. And I think people need to just relax and just hope that these guys will give us quality content in the Star Wars universe. And from what I've seen so far with the stuff they're coming out and the announcements they made, it seems like they're doing it. It seems like they're slowly getting back on track. I think they realize that you can't just do an assembly line with Star Wars. There has to be a grace period. They understand that. They're not going to make another Star Wars film for a while now. They've already said there's probably anywhere between 3 to 5 years, and that's not a bad thing. Now everybody relax. Let everybody breathe a little bit. As for the Star Wars stories, it seems to be dead, and I don't see any attempt at them re-resin it. I'm not too sure about that. I think it could have worked if they actually give original contact. I don't need another solo film. I don't want to know about the 3C3PO and R2D2 adventure. I feel they should just go with a new storyline. And if they're gonna give us anything related to Star Wars, I do believe that Disney Plus is the best way to go, so it will not dilute the franchise. You don't have, and Disney Plus is a different animal than the big screen. It's one of the reasons why I think that it's not a bad move to have an Obi-Wan storyline, a miniseries on that channel. I think it's a great move. Many people may disagree. I know a lot of people wanted the movies, but I think in terms of business, I think it's a smart move. You want to build a streaming service as strong as you can. They still got a lot of work to do, but I think they made a good move of, making it into a 4-part series and just basically bringing it out there rather than in the big screen. I think it will do much better out there, and I think it will pretty much be more of an attraction to the stuff they already got. Star Wars ain't dead and buried, as most of these people are saying it is. There are fans out there who wants it, but I think Disney has to get it right, and Disney has to basically, and Lucasfilm has to understand that going to a political war, whether you're right or wrong, is never good. They have better peer relations, what I think they're getting better at, and most importantly, just give good movies. Just give good streaming services, and people will watch it. I think that they have done everything right so far on how they promoted The Rise of Skywalker. I have no problem with it. Yes, the title is interesting. I don't think it's bad. It's not the best title in the world, but then again, Star Wars is not known for their subtitles. I still say New Hope. I will not recognize it. I think it's still called Star Wars, and I'm leaving it at that. I think the best title was The Empire Strikes Back, followed by Revenge of the Sith, Force Awakens. Then I put The Return of the Jedi, Phantom of the Menace. I think Attack of the Clones is the worst one. I don't like the title at all. Sound like a title that doesn't belong in a sci-fi film. It sounds like it belongs in some kind of Western film for some reason. That's just my opinion. But again, reshoots are nothing new. And I think people need to calm down and just let them do their reshoots. I do not think that this is worth going nuts over because of a couple of videos pretty much suggesting that it's a big hot mess. Especially when, if you paid attention, if you know movies as well as you claim you are, you know this is nothing new. Nothing new at all. But what's your opinion? I'd like to hear what you have to say. I'd like to hear what you guys are thinking about this. It's interesting to see what they're going to go with it. Hopefully, this film will be good and will pretty much redeem what many people consider to be a split within the fan base. And before I go, I did check out a double toasted story about Kentucky Fried Chicken and them having a stream game that's going to be on Steam. Look, it's for the ladies. That's all I gotta say is it's a dating simulator, whatever the hell they call it. I am not going to play it, nor do I care for it. I'm kind of surprised that they actually took the time to make it a game. I just got one question for KFC. Could you make me some good chicken again? Your chicken hasn't been good in years. Having a simulating game, or whatever you want to call it, play on your PC or in stream service, doesn't escape the fact that your chicken hasn't been good in years. Did you please focus on giving me a nice quality good meal? You guys are already charging almost astronomical amount of money for 2 drumsticks. I got KFC that's not too far from where I'm living right now. And I'm like, really? You're going to charge this much money for 2 drumsticks and a biscuit? You're charging $9, $10? Where I can get the same amount, where I can get almost 10 times the amount for $6.50 at a local chicken place that we have plenty of? Does this even sound right? I don't care what recipe you guys have. If the quality is not there, it's not worth it. And to be honest with you, KFC has not been that good in years. I don't know if they changed the recipe or whatever, but it hasn't been that good. I'd rather just get a McDonald's chicken sandwich for all I know. Or Popeyes. Probably maybe expensive as hell, but at least they got good quality chicken. And it's giving me more bang for my buck. Hell, I'll take Roy Rogers right now. And Roy Rogers has been pretty much out of the Northeast for years. There's only one in New York. You gotta go all the way down to 34th Street to get that. There's none in Patterson. I'm not gonna stop short and say there's anything in New Jersey because again I haven't fully explored New Jersey as much as I would like to. I haven't seen that in Newark. I haven't seen anything in Jersey City. And I haven't seen anywhere where I'm living right now. But I'd rather go eat their chicken than yours. Hell, I'd rather go eat $8 chicken, those boxes they sell for the 99-cent store, to eat KFC right now. It's not all that great. And your customer service has not been up to par for years. I'm not saying it's all the company's fault, but come on. There's a reason why a lot of KFCs in Brooklyn have been closing left and right. The quality of your food is not good. And if the quality ain't good, people are not going to show up. It's as simple as that. And no video game or crazy fun advertisements or comedic advertisement, which they've been doing lately, is going to change that. What's going to change it is quality service. You've got to give people a reason to go into your stores. If they're not getting their bang for their buck, they're not going to come. Simple as that. Simple as that. But I wanted to comment on it. If you guys can check it out, it's on Double Toasted's YouTube channel and on their website. I find it kind of interesting. I said, this is what they've been doing the whole time. So this is what they think is going to bring back people in the store. Okay. Good luck. Good luck. I don't see it. Maybe it's me. I don't see it. Well, that's all for today. As always, love to hear what you have to say about the comments, as I said here. Hey, ladies, and just in case if any ladies are listening to it, would you buy this game? I don't even know if it's a free game or not. That's one thing I don't know. I'm assuming it's a free game. It doesn't seem like they have many levels to it. But if that's possible, if you guys are going to do it, let me know. Let me know if you played it already. Let me know. I'm curious. I don't see how this is going to help them buy chicken. I just don't. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you'll tell me I'm wrong and give me a reason why in the comment section. Until next time, J77 saying take care, be safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.